Today, from Lumen Field in Seattle, this is the National Football League. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Chicago Bears.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And now the rookie's free. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Well, how's that for an early storyline? Some people are asking the ushers where their seat is, and boom, we've got a score on the board, a fumble return on the opening kickoff.
And this is where all the tailgating groups are looking at each other saying, maybe we need to get to the stadium just a little bit earlier next time.
But man, those bratwursts, they're good, Charles, they're good. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now Herbert to start the drive. And able to stay at the 33-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 33, here's a second down and 4. Fields now to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
2nd and 9. To throw is Fields. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948. Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82. And the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have the Bears first down. They go for it on 4th and 2, and it's a gain of 6. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Fields. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Justin Fields taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. This taken in right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On 1st down, they'll kick off the drive with Dallas. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Smith. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Dante Pettis deep for Chicago. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Now motion left with Mooney. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Fields. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
3rd and 2, Fields. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
A throw over the middle taken in, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Fields on first down. There's Mooney with another catch. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing again is Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's Moore. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw. Fields. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. This is Homer. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Fields. Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bears lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10.
Smith now to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
First carry here for Ken Walker. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Metcalf motions left.
Now Geno.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
Back to throw, Smith.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Straight ahead, Walker.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd down and 5.
Play action. It's Smith.
He hits his target, Lockett, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Walker going to be stopped before he can get moving forward, as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line.
Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Again, Walker.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. Geno now to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Colby Parkinson from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score.
No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes, because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make our score 14-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a good return, as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first down, right back to Herbert.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Here's Fields.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Fields on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
On first down, Fields. And again, back to Kmet.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first down throw, Fields.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Don't jump. Ready? 319,
They'll run here with Herbert.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Here's Fields now on 2nd down.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing now is Geno. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. It's such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Fields going to hold on to it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Justin Fields, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they have you panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now Geno on 1st down.
That completes it again to Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
On first down, Smith. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Smith. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll run this with Homer. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Foreman will try to pick it up. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On first down, it's Fields. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. No gain on the play there, second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Fields throw complete there to Moore.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Following the made field goal, out instead is the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick this away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Smith.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Now Smith.
And that'll be all off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. From the gun on third down, Smith. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Dominique Robinson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. On the return is Pettis. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over.
We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive.
He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage, because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Mooney, the motion man right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Fields.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw is Fields.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
Here we go. 319, that's it.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. On play action, they'll throw.
He's going to get this complete here to Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running left is Walker. He'll get this down to the 38.
The big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
2nd and 7.
Smith.
He'll find Metcalf. And Metcalf going to have the Seahawks 1st down as the tackle is made at the 28-yard line.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, Smith.
Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Here's Smith. And it's caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett from 19 yards away.
And the Seahawks get a bit closer.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chicago offense set to get started.
And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Now 2nd and 9. Fields.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Fields on 1st down.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now it's Fields. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
2nd and 10. Fields now to throw.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in, as that is going to be how this first half will come to a close.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And Smith's throw into the hands of Fant. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Smith. That is caught. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. He'll get this to about the 38.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Geno. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Smith. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Throwing again is Smith. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Now Smith. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Again, Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Here's Fields. He's got the connection to Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Back to throw. Fields.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So what a turnaround to begin this second half. A touchdown and then the fumble recovery in quick succession.
It certainly feels like whatever was said at the half, it certainly struck the right chord because they've come out with a lot more fire here in this third quarter. Down 2 scores at the half. Now they're right back in this thing with a chance to capitalize right here.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line. Throwing now is Geno. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that, Purple?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And he's got this down to the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Geno now to throw.
That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second down and 6 now. Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
44 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Here's Smith.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. That time a 6-play drive.
And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown.
The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and it kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
Here we go, sir. Turn around, sir.
Now a first down throw, Fields. That pass complete to Moore.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31.
Herbert powering up the middle. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7. To the air again, Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Justin Fields
Keeping it himself from 7 yards out.
And the Bears have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. This taken in right around the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Time for another look now at Geno Smith and the Seahawk offense.
He continues to just torch this defense. Perfect on the last drive, including his 4th touchdown pass of the game.
Similar to hitters that are in that great zone in baseball, and they say the ball looks bigger when it's approaching the plate and they're smacking it around. I think for him, the windows to throw into are wide open. Doesn't matter whether they're tight or not. He feels like it's wide open, puts it in there. 4 touchdown passes. He thinks he's going to throw a whole lot more before this one's over.
Now Geno on 1st down. He lets it fly for Lockett. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
A give for Walker running right.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Now Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Here we go, son. 319 right here. You. 56
On first down, it's Fields. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Draymond Jones. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Fields. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Going on the ground with Homer. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Smith on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. They'll toss this out right to Walker.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Smith.
This is Fant on the short completion. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Here comes Pettis on the return. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Here's Fields.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Kmet.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Hand off right side for Herbert. And he'll work down inside the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the gun, here's Fields. Complete to Mooney on the slant.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard.
Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Fields.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15.
Fields now to throw.
He finds his man, complete. That's more. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. This to swell the lead to 6. Santos' kick is up and through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Following the made field goal, out instead is the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick this away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 1st down, it's Smith. Now he'll escape to it, and I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he goes out right around the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. This complete to Lockett. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 43. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And Smith, and this throw finds Smith and Jigba. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll fake it. Now Smith.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll run the toss to Walker. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2nd and 5.
Now Geno.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one. And that one falls incomplete.
To throw is Smith.
He's going to get this underneath to Dallas. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Back to throw, Smith.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Ken Walker
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Looking to throw on 2nd down, Fields. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 72 yards. And the Bears use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth.
Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Fields trying to throw for it. Buying time to his left. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 27.
Hands it to Walker to begin the series.
There he goes left side.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And Walker once more.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now 2nd and 5. Smith. On the slant, here's Smith and Jigba. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Smith now to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This offense on 3rd down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 15-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith going right back to Fant. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this. Back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Here's Smith. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Seahawks answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to try and run. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Onto the field now come the Bears. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Fields on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
They run it on first with Foreman.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And finally, he's taken down at the 18.
56 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Back to throw. Fields. That is caught by Herbert.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Here's Fields.
The quick slant caught.
And the Bears are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Homer will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2? They'll try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives them a 7-point lead. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 24. Throwing now is Geno.
Short throw to Dissly.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
Geno now to throw.
He'll find Metcalf.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards that time for number 14.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, Smith.
Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. On the handoff, this is Walker. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
109 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Throwing is Smith.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
This is 1st and 10.
Now it's Smith. Left side complete to Lockett.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't.
Now 2nd down and a few inches. Smith over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. And Metcalf going to have the Seahawks first down as he 16.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's 1st down. Smith to throw.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for two here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. This one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Here's second and a yard. All eyes on Fields. He's got Claypool. And Claypool going to have a Bears first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Now Fields. And he'll manage maybe 10 yards, but they'll surrender that defensively, no problem. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Here comes second down. Here's Fields. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Back to throw, Fields. It fights him off. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz. Too fast to handle. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
Conditions only going to get worse as we get back to football here to start this overtime. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, these defensive backs have been getting torched all game long, and finally, a small measure of revenge here. That time, the coverage downfield is excellent, and they're right there to battle for the football and force the incomplete pass.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Here's Smith.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
First throw in overtime by Fields.
Rolling to his right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Now what can Fields do here in overtime? Now this will be caught by Mooney. And Mooney going to have a Bears first down as he'll be taken down at the 46. Foreman takes it, headed right.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now Fields. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And here in overtime, that had the potential to be the definition of a game-changing interception. But he couldn't find a way to pull it in. And that's a disappointment there.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
They'll run this with Homer.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Darrell Taylor picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So here's Cairo Santos on the field goal try. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they've come in here and stolen one on the road.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.